We'll be talking about business level strategies. So when we talk about business level strategies, they include plans, methods that businesses may use to conduct the numerous functions in operating their businesses. Therefore, more business strategies may be required in case of larger businesses, since they have more departments, they have more functions that exist within them. However, it's also important to note that small businesses may also adopt these strategies. Now, the business level strategies are usually used to provide the guidelines for the owners of the businesses, the managers, and the employees. Now, there are five types of business level strategies. Now, we're going to be discussing them in details as we go in our presentation. So, the coordination unit activities is one of the functions. The coordination of all the different individual unit activities that may be found in a business is common strategy. These activities may be differentiated by the departments, by sections, by the individual job positions. Regardless of this, coordination is done by the manager or the supervisor. Now, the manager is responsible for the bringing employees to the same platform in helping them as individuals accomplishing their individual goals, at the same time the goals of the organization and the objectives of the company. Allocating resources is very important duty of the manager. So he will allocate resources to the different elements, the different key elements of the strategy. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about is utilizing the human resources. Now, human resource utilization is very important in the economy. For us to realize success, we must properly use the resources available. Some form of human labor to fulfill business goals and objectives is always needed. Therefore, companies may develop or come up with a business level strategy with an intention to make sure that the organization has sufficient employees to produce the specific goods and services that we want to engage in. Now, this business level strategy also meant to ensure that the right type of human labor is acquired. So through the recruitment process, an analysis to see whether the skilled or unskilled labor is required is completed by the business function as part of this strategy. Now, the other thing is developing distinctive advantages. Now, a distinctive core competences or competitive advantage is essential for the success of any company. Therefore, core competencies must represent the activities or the abilities that a company holds for better output compared to the other competing companies. Now, these strategies may include acquiring economic sources, cheaper than other companies, efficient and more effective production processes, unique goods and products, finished goods and products, and finally, a cost-effective supply chain. The other thing that we want to mention is identifying market niches. So a market niche identification includes economic analysis, finding out the specific consumer demands that are not met, or where there is insufficient supply and needs to fulfill the demand. Now, Other niches may include modifying the products, may include targeting specific demographic groups, and etc. The other very important element is monitoring and product strategies. So once we have a strategy that is working, we always need to review the business level strategy. And this involves the organization going through the acquisition process, equipment process, business facilities, the administrative cost, the rate of return required to stay on track. And finally, we are reviewing the business level strategy so that we can remain flexible in the business and also make necessary changes when needed. Now, cost leadership is a very important concept. According to Michael Porter, it illustrates a method to affirm and manage a competitive advantage in a business. So basically, it refers to being the low-cost producer or in the industry. Now, cost leadership is as a result of a company's efficiency, size, scope, accumulated experience based on the learning curve. A cost leadership strategy aims to utilize the production as well as the defined scope and other economies of scale, such as good purchasing strategy, producing of highly standardized products, and also using modern and current technologies for competitiveness. Now, in the recent years, in the increasing number of companies, most of these companies have adopted a strategic mix to attain the market leadership. So when we talk about a strategic mix, we say that these companies are mixing patterns which are considered simultaneous effect on cost leadership together with superior customer service and product leadership. So they have that market mix, the hybrid leadership, customer service, and product leadership. Now, the price leadership is a differentiation concept. It's what makes us different. A company becomes the low-cost producer, yet the cost leader. A company may become a low-cost producer, yet not a low-cost leader. Therefore, a company can have a higher than average profitability in the case of price leadership. The cost leaders do not compete only with the price and very effective in competition, having a low structure and management. Now we're going to look at a few examples, and I've highlighted a few. One of them is IKEA. IKEA is a Swedish company, and this is a company that has revolutionized the furniture industry. Today, IKEA sources its products in low-wage countries. They look at countries which are producing the furniture lower. They don't even assemble or deliver the products. While this is a bit more complex than the traditional retailers, it allows IKEA to offer low prices and attain the cost leadership. Another example is the Walmart. Now, Walmart Stores Inc. has a strategy of everyday low prices aimed at attracting customers. Now, the idea of everyday low prices consistently offers products and attractiveness, products which are really attractive and cheaper as compared to the competitors, rather than depending on their sales. So Walmart has a larger sale and larger supply chain, very efficient supply chain. So they also source their products from cheaper suppliers, low-wage foreign markets. Therefore, the company can sell its items at really low prices that other competitors cannot match. This is will ensure they maintain the profit margin but higher volumes of sales. Now, another industry company is McDonald's. Now, McDonald's is a restaurant industry. It runs on low margin where it's so difficult to compete with a cost leader marketing strategy. Now, McDonald's has a strategy of offering basic fast food meals at low prices. So they have a division of labor that allows them to recruit and train freshers rather than have a more trained and cooks. So they also rely on few managers, and in that way they make a lot of savings. So McDonald's, the global restaurant chain, uses distinctive hiring strategy to be the best or the cost leader in the market. Another very interesting example is the Southwest. I love this. So Southwest Airlines, they wanted to have profits, and their profits are currently coming when they charge really lower prices. So other companies are shooting their prices to maximize on their profit. Southwest challenged them and said, let's be the cost leader. So they offer lowest prices possible for the air tickets. This is added with the efficient operations. So they're very efficient. So they're minimizing the time planes will spend on the ground, on the tarmac, and keep all their planes always flying. This offers less thrills to customers, but is able to pass the cost savings. Now, a differentiated business strategy is one of the two basic type of competitive strategies. Now, companies may employ either of the two competitive business strategies. In essence, companies can take advantage of one of the many possible differentiative mechanisms and strategies to drive their businesses. So we talked about differentiation, which basically means making an organization a brand that would stand out, a brand that is unique in terms of features, benefit, services, other elements that may be really for a particular situation. So this strategy refers to identifying the most important criteria that will be used by the buyers in the market, then designing the product, service, or other offerings in the best possible way to meet that criteria. Now, offering the finest quality products could be the best solution. An exclusive or a modern feature or a tool, an organic material could be a differentiating tool. So differentiation strategies are really considered along with higher prices point than low-cost providers. Therefore, more money is needed to offer a better overall solution depending on the value-added elements before going to the low-cost options that may be available and very important. So differentiation focus. Differentiation relies on one or small target market segments. So in some industries, different market segments will demand different types of product or service. So with a differentiation focus, the business will focus on one or two of the given segments. These segments are the company's strengths, and we want to align the company towards that. This is more focused approach, which allows maximizing the efforts of marketing to the selected segments and letting the organization invest the resources to convince the segments that the brand is superior. Now, a low-cost limitation. Usually, there is always more room for differentiated business strategies, for low-cost strategies in this case. Now, ultimately, we can say that one of the company emerges as a true low-cost provider in an industry, being the second lowest or the third lowest provider does not make you a game changer. Now, some industries, several companies may compete to be the low-cost providers. However, only one company or two can win limited profit spread across or around. Therefore, companies that do not want to engage in high-risk battle of costs may opt to use a differentiated approach, so they don't have to be low-cost producer. So Michael Porter's model offers a mention to a differentiation in his famous 5 forces for highly competitive market models. And therefore, it's an advantage strategy. So they include differentiation and differentiation focus, which has two similar but distinct differentiation strategy. So Porter noted 5 competitive forces from rivals, new entrants, suppliers, buyers, and substitutes. So we talk about entrants, suppliers, buyers, and substitutes. Now, cost leadership strategy and differentiation strategy share one very important characteristics, and this is that both are used to attract customers in general. So whether it's differentiation or cost, it's aimed at attracting customers, and the policies to appeal to a broad market can be contrasted with the strategies that target a relatively narrower market niche, potential customers. So these strategies are known as focus strategy, and they are applicable to both the cost leadership and differentiation. Now, the focused cost leadership strategy needs to compete based on price to a target market niche. An organization following it may not charge the lowest prices in the industry, but instead they charge lower prices that are more relative to the other organizations in the market. So that's what really distincts these two organizations. So the nature of the narrow target market will change across the organization that uses the focused cost leadership strategy. Now, sometimes the market is defined by the demographics. Now, in all other instances, the target market is always described by the sales channel. Now, focused cost leadership strategy, we're going to look at some examples. And Papa Murphy's is one of the examples. And they sell cook home pizzas. So they are very inexpensive pizzas. They are baked at home. So the law permits Papa Murphy's to receive food stamps as payments. This allows Papa Murphy's to attract customers that might not otherwise be able to afford a prepared pizza. Now, focused differentiation strategy. A focused differentiation strategy provides a unique feature that fulfills the demands of a narrow segment of a market. So, some businesses use the focused differentiation strategy. The efforts on a particular sales channel, such as selling products online only. Others would target specific demographic niches. Now, a differentiation strategy includes providing the unique features to attract a variety of customers. However, there is need to satisfy a narrow market demand. This would mean that the desire for uniqueness is really taken to the next level, and firms remain focused to the differentiation strategy. The unique features of a focused differentiation strategy are often specialized. So, a focused differentiation strategy. A good example is the Mercedes-Benz. So this is the motor vehicle manufacturer. So they present a cutting-edge technology for styling and safety innovations, and this appeal has been available for many decades. In 1970, acid rocker Janis Joplin recorded a song called Mercedes-Benz. This song highlighted the automaker's allure. Since then, Mercedes has used that particular song in different television commercials, including during the 2011 Super Bowl. Now, some of the advantages of a focused strategy. In the case of a focused differentiation, very high prices can be charged. Now, indeed, these firms often price their goods above the general price recommended. Therefore, they follow a differentiation strategy. Now, businesses and firms can develop exemplary expertise about the goods, the services that they offer. Now, in the market where the product knowledge is vital, rivals and new entrants, they find it difficult to compete with the firms that follow a focus strategy. Now, disadvantages of the focus strategy. The limited demand available within a niche of the problematic situation. Now, first, the growth ambitions can get stymied once the market is only a way to grow, and this needs a new set of skills. The niche could get diluted or taken over by larger players. For example, many gun stores have gone out of business since Walmart and supporting goods stores have started carrying impressive array of firearms. It's surprising, but that's the truth. So Walmart is selling very impressive firearms. So that means they are pushing those other businesses and stores out of business. And you know what? That's different. They are charging less. They are the cost producer, low cost producer, and they are having differentiation. So that makes them the biggest game changer. Guys, I want to welcome you to my next video. We'll be going deeper into other topical issues in strategic management. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.